Hey guys, welcome back to the lab. Today at the bench we are continuing our work on the 1880s partially leather-bound volume. And this book in this episode will get its new endbands, and it will also get its next spine lining. So I saved the endband cores from this book because they're in great shape and they're the right size, so why not? And I have a bleached, thin linen material I'm going to use to cover them. It's not bleached white, it's like a cream color. And that will match what the original endbands had faded to. It will look appropriate for the book. And it will be strong and new material. But it won't stand out that this is a new addition to this book. So I set those aside to dry, and then once they've dried, I am going to apply them to the book on top of the linen lining. So I made the linen pieces that go over these endband cores bigger than they need to be so that when the cores are dry, it's easy for me to trim them down to exactly the right size. So I'm checking for fit. That string that has been in the videos that is bothering me, might be bothering you too, is now gone. And so I'm going to apply adhesive to the linen on these endbands. And then I'm going to apply adhesive to the back of the linen lining where these endbands will live. And I have to crouch down to make sure that these are in the right place. It's kind of easy to put them on crooked, believe it or not. And it's really noticeable if they're crooked once the book is back together. So I like to double check and make sure they're in the right spot. So I'm going to put my woven release layer on top and a diving weight while I paste out the other side and apply the next endband. My apologies for all the shots of my arm. I'll do better next time. And I will let those dry and then come back to apply the next spine lining. So this lining is actually a Japanese long fibered tissue. And that means it's hard to tear. It's very tough paper, but it's very flexible. So I am pasting out, applying adhesive where I need it to live on the spine. And then I'm applying that long fiber tissue I was telling you about. So I need to make sure it's square on the spine, and then I press well. I want to make sure this is very well adhered. So then once that's adhered, I am going to fold over the sides that are not adhered to the book, and these will make the hollow tube. So what the hollow tube construction allows me to do is it allows me to attach the last episode's color matched long fiber tissue, which will be the outside of the book that you'll see when you're looking at the book, to the back of the spine. But it's cool because there's also a leather spine label that will be adhered to the very outside of the spine. And I don't want that spine label to flex when the book opens and closes. So if I were to not have this hollow tube construction, every time the book opens and closes, it will crease that leather label and eventually wear it out rather quickly. So this doesn't guarantee that the label will stay intact, but it certainly helps a lot. And that's one of the main reasons I use it on this book. So I put a piece of scrap plastic, believe it or not, into the tube to make sure that the tube stays a tube while the glue is wet and doesn't, like the top doesn't stick to the bottom. All right, thanks for tuning in this week, and subscribe to show the lab some love, and I will see you next week. Thanks.